Um, we are here, I'm Chandra Shekhar Sengupta from India, and I have Valentin.
That's me, Valentin Forst from Germany. So we together created a presentation for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it, and we appreciate that you have taken the time before lunch. So we will try to make it quick as possible so that we finish on time. So we will get you lunch. Chandra,
Yes.
go ahead, please.
Yeah. So the topic what we chose is openEHR to enhance last mile healthcare delivery in India, and the main goal is to improve the quality of care. So to get or grab your attention, first I want to show you guys some little bit of statistics so that you can relate why it is so much important. So on the right hand side, I have given the land area of India, 3.2 million square kilometer. So let's just take 3.2, and Europe is 10.53. So Europe is exactly 3 times the land area of India. And if you look down a little bit, the population of Europe is 742 million, and India is exactly twice, 1.4 billion. So if we try to compare the resource and like density, people density, it's like 2 into 3, 6 times. So like 6 Indians are fighting for single resource what Europeans are getting. Okay, so
good starting.
So so again, if we take a little bit of deep dive, unlike any modern civilization or first world countries, in India there are many people, they live in rural areas. So India is an ancient civilization, so people are living there for a long time. Weather is so good, so you can live almost anywhere. There are maybe 5% of area of India where if you're living outside you might die due to rough weather, but 95% area is completely livable, unlike Europe. If you here, if you live outside, you will die at night. So at least I will die at night. So from that stat, what we are giving, 72% of 1.45 billion people lives in rural areas, not in the cities. So that makes 1 billion people, 1,000 million people are living in the rural areas. And how many doctors we have? Only 26%. So remaining 74% of the doctors, they chose to stay in the easier place in the cities because that's where it is easy to live. So in a nutshell, we have only 500,000 doctors treating 1 billion patients. So I would say this is like if you go to the WHO site or Indian government site, you will get a different picture. They don't give you a whole countrywide picture. But if you see 1:2000 is a doctor to patient ratio. So this is a very scary thing. I was in Trieste this year, and there I was checking some of the data. So doctor to patient ratio in Italy, it is 1:22. So we are just exactly 100 times more. In a worst scenario where for 2,144 people, there is 1 doctor. But so all those were scary facts, but the good fact is almost 500 million people in India, they have access to mobile. May not be an iPhone like you, but they have access to like good Android phones, which like bids the purpose. It tells you, it gives them a purpose of like it's making their life easier. It's like helping them getting jobs, getting government facilities. So like e-governance and digital health can be a savior in these areas. So so this was like all the stats, but we did not started to work just by reading the stat. So it came by observation. So how it started? So from 2011. So you see that backside, that is the most beautiful place on earth, Himalayas, or maybe I would say most dangerously beautiful place in the world, Himalayas. So it's like just 500 kilometers away from my home. I can take a plane which takes 30 minutes, or maybe a one-night train. I can just get on and sleep. So I have a neighboring people from our state, so we can relate. So it's kind of very convenient to travel. So if you see, I just took a screenshot. So this is like down south where I live. This is Calcutta or Kolkata. That's a very big city in India, one of the maybe 5th most biggest city in India, and the population is just 12 million. Okay, so it's a very crowded and big city, and we go for summer vacations on the up north. So we started going there after I joined job, and we got access to money, and we are spending it every weekend. We wanted to have some trip. We were going to the mountains. So as you can see, me and my friends, we used to go to hiking or trekking. It's mostly 7 days, 8 days, every year, twice. That was our common ritual. So on the left hand side, I chose that picture because you will see your Coca-Cola, orange juice, all the MNC stuff is there. But in the evening when we talk to them, we realize they don't have basic medicines. If they have fever, they don't have access to basic medicines there, because it takes almost a day to reach there. From the nearest city where you have all those things, it's very remote. Normally, all the people who wants to save, so they go to the cities, they buy all these things. But you can't go buy the medicine like that. There are some necessities, and there is not proper healthcare infrastructure available in this area. So if I tell you, so this is like India-Nepal border. So this is a story of India, Nepal, and other places were adjacent and very mountainous place. So this was the kind of holiday vacation, and then from my work side, I was involved with IHE Connectathon, North American Connectathon. So like most of the Indians, we work for American companies where like a lot of opportunities. So I used to go to US and stay almost for a month, attend Connectathon and HIMSS. So initially I was working as an engineer. So my job was to set up our healthcare system and also comply to the different US government use cases like meaningful use and various legal frameworks where we have to use interoperability. So from 2011 to 15, I was a regular kind of attendee of IHE Connectathons, and I was a fan, and I saw how well structured everything is. So I see problems when I go out. I see people are suffering, and I'm working on the solution, not for my own people whom I interact every time. So I'm saying we are developing solutions for others, they are not using it at all. So I had an idea, and I discussed with my colleague, and he was also not so happy because his employer, like our employer, did not listen to him. They were focusing mostly onto providers, not on the patient. So we two, maybe crazy people, we wanted to do something for the people around us. We launched a company in Kansas in 2013. We were still working with our employer, and we were side by side. We started a personal health record. So our goal was to give you control of your own health record. So if I ask you anyone, I'm going to give you 10 minutes of time. You use internet, you can calculate how much money you have or how much wealth you have. But if I give you maybe 1 day, you will not be able to calculate how much health you have. Like in the video games, you see that health score. With all those high tech, we are very nerdy people, but I can't calculate how is my health. I will not be able to get that, but I can easily do it for wealth. So this was a endeavor to do that, to enable you to store all your health records, get it with the healthcare standards, and then run algorithms on top of it, and it's on your control. You can decide what to do with your data and run different kind of apps on top of it and try to come up with and try to get to know what your health score. So that was just an idea back then. So what I did, we looked at an existing project from Children's Hospital Boston. It was started by Dr. Josh Mendel. He is like, you guys maybe know him for Smart and Fire, those kind of things. So this was the first project. It ran from 2008 to 2010 or 11. And we saw that, and it was based on Python, and it was almost aligned with the technology I'm familiar with. So I thought I will get inspiration from that. And we started looking into that. And then we realized this is a very good framework, and it is aligned with IHE and everything, so we built this. And the main, you can build something that giving some value to the patients, but we need to figure out what is the value it is giving to the company. how you are surviving this. There are a lot of money. It is privacy. I can't store it in a normal shared server. We need to use special AWS servers. AWS was eating up all our money. So now I know the person Fifi. I will tell him, please give me some discount. But that time I did not have good connection, so we could not ask for any discount back then. But it was eating up 10,000 USD per month, and it was even more than how much we were spending on the team. So like by 2017, we got few customers around Kansas area, and it was working well, and we were hoping for like next round of investment, but then Obamacare, so the next president got changed, next 41, and then the Obamacare did not have any funding. So it's typical US healthcare, which is completely dependent on politics. So we did not get the funding we needed, so we had to close the company, or we could not run that in US. But we saw that after, so the company was stopped in February 2017. By March, I saw Apple launched Apple Health. So then I realized, okay, it's not always good to have an idea, but you should have money as well. If you don't have money and power and a corporation to control all the things, maybe you cannot do good things. So my business partner, he said, come to US, we will do some other project. But I decided we're trying to solve a problem. Let's try to implement it in India. So I took that challenge, and I was so much confident because I did things before Apple. And they recruited all the team from Indigo. So I knew those guys because I was interacting with them. I was trying to fix their problem, and they were very happy because I'm using their code and I'm using their models. So we were exchanging, and then I saw all of them joining Apple. Then I said, okay, this has a future. It may not make me billionaire, but we can at least survive and do things with it and solve the problem. We'll figure out a business case. So then for India, we came up with a digitalization problem. So I started my presentation with the problems in India. So again, I thought, now I know how to fix the problems. I have the knowledge, and I have a working software. Let's try where is the gap. So when we focused on Indian healthcare, then we saw I can't directly use that product directly in India because the doctors are lagging behind. The doctors, they're still on paper. So you need to build another piece for the doctors. Then I can bring my already developed piece which I have developed for US. So we started Medical Wisdom. That was kind of a mobile-based and web-based application where it's like a typically any HIS or provider like a software where you can maintain all the basic stuff. So this time we were more mature. We started to use all open source technologies. So that's when I found openMRS. So it looked like a complete tool. We started to deploy in various hospitals and then various doctor's office, small clinics and everywhere where they are ready to work with us. And we started to build a wrapper around it so that we can interact and do the several interoperated stuff. So openMRS we saw, and then I came to know about openEHR. So then openEHR was actually solving many of my problems. So, but it was a little bit more technical. I could not use it as is because there are a little bit more effort needed to do that. But I was very happy that I am working with the technology which has been there for 15, 20 years, and it's mature, and there are a lot of people there working. Different university hospitals are trying to use it, or there are a group of good people there focusing on it. On side by side, I don't work in a big company. I was working on my own startup, so I could not go there as a vendor. I started going as a monitor, so that I can be in touch with the people. We can help them in the test and everything. So from 2019 to 2024, I worked in, I participated in all the North American connectathons and European connectathons and everywhere, so that I am in touch with the digital health, and we know how to do things, and also be familiar with the happenings around Europe and US. So we came up with, so now we have a platform for a doctor, we have a platform for the patients. Still nobody is using it. So again we went back to like pen and paper, why people are not using it. Then we realized healthcare is not like anything else. This is like, you will only try to do, most people in India or around those places where they will use healthcare when they need it. So it's more of curative. It's not preventive. So with that stats, 1:2144, you can't afford to be sick. So you need preventive healthcare more than Europeans or Americans or any other first world countries. So we wanted to push this. So I was thinking government is trying their best. It's a very big country. If you go to the remote places, you will see there are so many good things in India. That's why people are increasing. They are being educated. There are so many positive things. But where is the gap? Why things are not happening? So we figured out that the only way to do that is obviously digital health, but all of us, we don't have this costly, expensive like hardware. So we need to make it open source. We need to make it run on the bare minimum electronical gadget what is available. And in India, we are very good at like keeping our reusing the old stuff and we don't like throw out iPhones every 1 year or 2 years whenever a new model comes. Some of them we can't afford, some of them we don't need it, we don't want it. So we tried, there are various national projects, UN funded projects, they are trying to improve digital health. They're trying their best, but it is not enough. We need people who go to the more like various places. So we wanted to come up with a framework where we can make it a process or a kind of workflow where if someone is ready to fund, we can do the work. So it's like making an organization. So what we did, we came up with a new approach. It's not new, it's kind of, we took inspiration from government and like other NGOs. So we call it medical wisdom caregiving. So we are training normal graduate people about basic caregiving. So in US, they have a specific name for it. In Europe, I think there will be some specific term for it. Indian government, they call them ASHA workers. So they go to the villages, they interact with people, and then they help them adopt the healthcare technologies. So we made a training program that's if you are a graduate, like Indian graduate, and you go through that training program for 3 months, and then you can do 3 months of on-job training, and you can help people with all these things. So there are a few books after the session, you can just check them. So it's just a pictorial representation of what they do. We tried to make it a branding where we are just teaching them how to help people. So that in a remote place, let's say you see your neighbors or your parents, they need help. So what you can do, you just sign up for the course. You train yourself and you buy some small devices. So within €200, we made an assembly of 6 small devices. Allied Core Cardia ECG device, that's a US-based FDA-approved first ECG device. Then SpO2 machine, blood pressure machines, everything is coming within €200. So we kept it within a bag, and we launched a training program. If you want to learn how to do that, and then you can use this bag. Either you buy it for your neighborhood, or you get funding from the local government, or just do something so that you can survive. So, so that was like individual approach. Then we started taking organizational approach where we were going through different districts and we were kind of trying to set up mobile health camps. So let's say in India, people go to the religious places, they go to mandirs, masjids, churches, maybe on Sunday or on that religious day, they go there weekly once. So we set up a simple desk just outside the church door or mandir door. So we will just talk to them and then explain them why it is so much important, and we like encourage them to adopt it. So initially everybody thought, I'm becoming mad, but after some time they started calling me, hey, can you bring that small table? So we were not even, so we built IKEA style tables so that we can fold it. And we built it not with Chinese materials which gets kind of wasted after a few days. We built it with typical Indian things and drilled it and made it such a way that we can maintain it. And we made a video how to make that setup itself. So if you want to do it in maybe 1,000 kilometer away or 2,000 kilometer away in India, so India breadth-wise it is 2,500 kilometers. So to ship something, it will be costing way more. You can see the video and make it on your own with the same amount of money what you are spending. So we got, in a first year, we could go to 9 districts and we got around 4,000 attendees. So the problem was, so this was the workflow where we needed openEHR. So we were talking to the doctors, we were coming with templates like this. So because it's a simple word form where we were reading all those things, and this was a template we got from the COVID time. During COVID time, we helped various people just for basic checkup. So this was a simple form. But we could do only few things with this kind of forms. Every time we had to run after the doctors. Hey doctor, tell me what to do. So then, like I knew openEHR has the clinical knowledge manager. So I was always using it or deploying it for someone else. I was not actually paying my head into what is the aim of it, what is actually they're trying to achieve. Then we realized, hey, this is a gold mine. Here, like verified details, what I was running after my doctors because they don't have much time. So I figured out a way what I can do. I went to the like openEHR kind of openEHR CKM and like the templates. We got various verified things, and we spent some more time, and I trained my other team members to how to find information from openEHR CKM, and we translated into our local languages, and then we tried like we got it verified by a local doctor, because this is not local, so there might be 2% or 3%, maybe 5% changes based on localization. So so what we changed from a personal health record or a HIS, we became a care management or preventive care platform, where after we moved everything to openEHR based CKM, it was very easier for us to do the further analysis. We started developing apps like on top of it. So patient dashboard. So this is my dashboard. You know everything. If you search, you'll get everything. But it is Europe, so I just blurred all those things. Somebody might ask, hey, information privacy. So we blurred out all those things. But so this is like giving you an outlook about everything about the patient. Then what we saw from our visits to those like remote places, one thing is so much popular there is the messaging apps, WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram. So we built we took open source implementation of the of this, and then we kind of made it such a way that it looks like WhatsApp or Signal, but you can right click on a message and add to your PHR. Okay, so you are sending a message of your blood test, you can right click and add it to your PHR, we will do OCR, and then we will automatically scrap that information to our personal health record. So this is like another app. And then I met Valentin in 2020. We were kind of like exchanging some information, how we can collaborate. Valentin helped us, like from technology side, he helped us improve our DevOps so that we can optimize our cloud cost, we can deploy it in an optimized way. He helped us Dockerizing it and use scalable frameworks, so the cost came down. The development cost and the deployment cost came down. And then we started working on AI/ML stuff a little bit so that we can improve the quality of care. Now we have a framework where we capture all the documents, we have the data in a repository in a CDR. Now we need to analyze it so that we can give them better clinical outcomes. So another app where we tied up with a French company called Technicise. They are helping us giving a patient timeline. So if you have so much of data about a patient, you need to view them, you need to enable them so that a doctor can view it in a very less time. So the goal was to reduce the time doctor is spending on a patient. And normally in India, on average, they spend 10 minutes. We wanted to reduce it to 2 to 3 minutes so that you can see more patients. So that 2,000 becomes maybe 700 or something like that, if you're enabling them to use it. So I will hand over to Valentin.
Thanks a lot. So guys, give me another 5 minutes, okay? So I will try to keep it as quick as possible, but there's something that we would like to put a message across here. So 5 years ago when I met Chandra, I was quite impressed by the fact how people in India they face and solve problems. You know, they just don't think about the regulations. They just trying to give more value to the patients. So and you know, in Germany we tend to make differently the whole problems. We love regulations, you know, we love restrictions and policy and stuff like that. So I was quite impressed how these guys did it. And so I said to Chandra, why this platform that we built and we make it accessible only by pressing the button. You can deploy it on AWS or Google platform or Azure, Microsoft Azure, and on-premise, why don't you make this valuable product accessible to German and to European people too? And that's how we came to this idea to work together. So we have been working for the last 4 years, probably every week, something like this. And then we realized actually we can extend this platform with some other stuff that I didn't tell you guys. So I'm a software engineer, so I've been working the last 20 years building a software. So one question is probably, do you know this smart guy, Alan Turing? You know, it's a British guy. He was a British guy, you know, and this is the guy who gave us the idea how to build software for the last 3 decades. And I give you just a simple example. We make, if something happens, do something. If something else happens, please do something else. You know, and that is how software is built in the last 3 decades. This way, the AI. So managers say it, artificial intelligence. Data scientists call it machine learning, which is more precisely. So I've been doing the last 5 years machine learning stuff for the German government. So we have a project in a German employment agency. We built a platform there. So I thought, Chandra, why don't you make advantage of this and extend this platform by adding some kind of artificial intelligence models on top of it. So, and here I don't want to go into details. You know, if you have any questions, just find me after the talk. I will be happy to explain a lot of this stuff. But I will try to make things easy, just because I don't have much time. How we build this? We build a platform. 2020 we start building, and you know, we do not. This is really a game-changing topic. It's not like programming. So we're not making instruction to computers as we do in the last 30 years. Here we let computers make the instruction themselves. And what we do, we just give them a data. So we just give the computers a data and say, well, use this data to make your own decisions. And that is the game changer. This is something completely new. And it's here to stay. It will not disappear in 2 or 3 years. You know, just to give you this idea. And how it starts, you see the data scientists, they try, they build, they give a data, they have algorithms, let the algorithms learn from this data, and they create the models in the model registry. In this model registry, and the kind of inference that is something serving, and that is in the production. So we use for the agency, we have machine learning, artificial intelligence platforms running in the production. So and this is the way how we used to do this 2020. But then we realized, well, it's a huge space was called Hugging Face, and then come ChatGPT. Probably you have seen the presentation from yesterday. What ChatGPT is doing, that's also large language models, nothing else. But they are not only the ChatGPT 4.0, they are probably thousands of other models, and even better, a lot better than ChatGPT. I don't want to say Llama or Mistral or so. Just go to the site, Hugging Face, and you'll see they're free. You can use it without having to pay anything. And then realize that if we take one of these models, they are performing the same how we did 1.5 years. So we spent a lot of time, a lot of cost to build models ourselves, because the restriction was to use private data. You know, this stuff here is using public data. And one of our governments says, well, you're not allowed to go there because you have no idea where this is stored. And our challenges, the challenge now, so we have a lot of challenges solved in the past 4 years, but it's how to use them. And then we came up, just please, next slide. So now what we're doing, we are just extending private data with the public data. So actually, LLM, large language model, stands for everything you can know about AI. So ChatGPT, Aleph Alpha is übrigens our German. We are very proud of it. They just gave up, but there's also a ChatGPT version, a German ChatGPT version. But just think of large language models like these huge AI models that everybody is talking about. The problem here is they have public data only. They learn, these models was learned by using public data. if you have private data, you don't want to share it with someone else, then you have to make an extensions and to build this either on premises or in your safety area in some kind of a region, Sango EW, German region, who got all these certifications, data protection, and so on. And that is something that we are doing, we're working the last year, so 2024, and would like to extend the platform. So,
I want to just add one more thing.
Yeah.
So if you saw how we had a framework to help people, then we got openEHR to save our time and share the global knowledge. All these good people around these big places with a lot of government grants and humanitarian grants, they have done miracles. But no one is there to take the good work and give it to the patient. So if you see all these good restaurants around here, you have, I saw that Deliveroo, so they deliver the food. So we are just the delivery man. We are delivering all the good work done by the researchers and giving it to the remote place on earth, in the Himalayas maybe. So it is just the extreme example I'm giving. So, but still there is a problem. Still the doctors are not enough. They have so much work, they can't like cope up with it. They're having mental issues because there's so much of pressures, work pressures on them. So when Valentin and me, we started exchanging ideas, and I tell him cool things, he tells me cool things, and we saw using this. So all these LLMs, they are open source, so they have everything. So if we can build this extension or private data, the private data becomes the data we have. So it is learned by the normal models, and then it is using our private data, and it is helping the patients with the recommendations and clinical decision support. So the doctors, now they can spend maybe a minute per patient, and mostly we are focusing on preventive, so that you don't let them get sick. So they are more strong people because they are living in a nice place, no pollution, and maybe higher altitude, or the places where not everything is there, but they have good life. So our goal is to improve that care management using like this, like all these latest technologies which is built around the world, and use it for like a global good. So, and thanks a lot to openEHR, solving our issues and maybe cutting our cost by 1/20th, because we are a private organization. We are trying to sustain by selling these products to the cities, and whatever we sell to the cities, the same amount we go to the remote areas and give it for free. So you buy one, and we are donating one in the remote areas.
I'm going to have to stop you there. So way over time. So
yes.
So
we are
questions.
Thank
if people have questions, they can find you at lunchtime.
Yes. So we are around here.